Here we are going to be using PowerPoint 2010. There is not much difference between PowerPoint 2010 and PowerPoint 2007, which I'm sure most people are still using, but people have migrated to 2010, others are even using 2013. So with Microsoft PowerPoint, you can be asked to create a presentation of say 3 slides about a company called say Mateo Training and Consultancy Limited. So once you open it like this, make sure you add the slides, okay? All of them, the required number of slides. So in slide 1, the title could be Mateo Training and Consultancy Limited. And down here, it could be the name of the person, say your name, or the name of the person presenting. In this case, could be Okoed or Tai. You can also have a date, say September 2015. Okay, so in slide 2 is where you are going to say some information about the company. So here you could say something like Mateo Training and Consultancy Limited is a well-respected and trusted provider of quality training and consultancy services. And say in slide 3 is where you are supposed to put something like services and products, and you can change the layout of the slide by right-clicking on this slide on the left here. Right-click here, choose layout. Here you choose layout, and you can come down here and you can choose this option of to content or comparison. If you're picking comparison, for example, you will see how this will appear. So here we shall say services and products. And in this part here, we shall put services, and this other section here, we will put products. So the services include training, software installation, computer networking, and consultancy. And the products on this side include routers, switches, computers, and this include desktops and laptops, phones. Okay, you are done. Now there are instances whereby you can also be required to add a slide between slide 2 and slide 3. Let's say you are supposed to add it between slide 2 and slide 3. So you click in between here and you see how that is jumping as you're seeing. Then you click new and there will be a slide in between. So let's say this is supposed to be contact details. And so here we shall have the contact details as indicated. Now you will notice that we have slide 1 with this, slide 2 with that, slide 3 with this information, and slide 4 with this. But it's a bit awkward to have the contact come before services. So we could consider rearranging this. So if you need to pull this slide and take it before slide 3, you simply need to click on this here and drag it as you are seeing. You are seeing now it is now between 3 and 2. Then you release it. And so the order is now changed. It's also a good practice to know how to duplicate slides. If you need to duplicate this slide too, you simply need to right click on it and you choose the option duplicate. And so you have this and then the same thing here. So we shall delete it by simply selecting it and touching the delete on the keyboard. It is also very important now at this point to save the file. Let's assign it a name by giving it a name, for example, material presentation. Okay, after this you should be able to go and select your location where your files are normally supposed to be saved, which is material documents. You click there and you say OK. You click save. You can also be required to apply a theme of your choice. So with that, you will need to go to design and you choose a theme of your choice. If you choose this, that will be applied to all. If you choose this, for example, in my case, I have created a template which can be customized this way, but there are quite a number of options that you can pick from. You can also pick like the one here, which I've already created. This is a template I have created before, but with you can now pick many others. You can pick any, let's say this blue. Okay, and this now makes everything beautiful. Fine, you have applied the theme. There are also instances you can be required to insert footers. So you'll have to go to insert and you pick on this option of header and footer. So here you can be required to put even a slide number, so you can choose that. If you want to insert a footer now, you activate this checkbox, then you type if it is something to do with East Africa as a footer, then you apply to all. That will be applied to all the slides as you are seeing. Okay, let's get back to headers and footer, and we see from here that there are also instances whereby you can be required to include on a slide date and time, so you check that box. So update automatically, this means that when you click apply to all, tomorrow when you open this document, for example, it will have tomorrow's date. But when you say fixed, it means that when you apply, when you click apply, even when tomorrow comes, it will still maintain this date. Let's get back here. So interestingly, you can also be tasked to insert a header. When you go to notes and handouts, you'll actually see that there is a provision for header here. At this point, you can now insert, say, Uganda. Then you say apply to all. I will not apply to all, but I will show you that there is also this other option here. This one will be included on a page. This one also will also be included on a page. I will ask you to test this out and try this out and see what each one of them does. Then you apply to all. Now, surprisingly, when you are viewing your slides like this, you won't be able to see the header. The header will only be displayed when you view your file, which is here on this screen as handouts. So how do you go about doing that? Go to File. If you are using Office 2007, this would be the Office button. So File, then you come to Print. From where then you should be able to see that here you can have quite a number of things. Right now it is displaying only a slide per page. But when we choose, say, 6 slides, you'll see that there is now a header as Uganda. Okay? Header as Uganda. Then, if you needed to print this out, you then go ahead and click on Print. Otherwise, we do not need to print it right away. We shall escape by pressing the Escape button. And we're back on. Now, You can be required to insert animation, say to first slide. So animation is, maybe before we can insert animation, let's run this presentation and see how it works before we put any animation by pressing F5 on the keyboard. So that is how this information will be like. When you move, press enter, you'll actually see that. When you press enter again, you see that. When you press enter again, you see that. When you press enter again, it shows you a blank slide like that. When you press enter, it exits. So when we talk of animation, animation is simply giving life to the text. So we'll select this placeholder where this text is, and we come to animations. When we say when we say fade in, you see the effect. You see the effect? So when I choose that, it means that that is how that text is now going to behave. It has been animated. Now, transition, when we talk of transition, you come to this, how the first slide will appear when you are now moving to the next slide. How are your slides going to appear when you are moving from the first slide to the next slide? So let me say push. Are you seeing that? And if I say split, you see what happens? So you can apply different animations, transitions to different slides. Okay? But it's a good practice for you to apply a uniform transition to all your slides. So after doing that, you simply click apply to all. So that is done. If you need to make your slides move automatically, remember this was selected. If you want to make your slides move automatically after a certain number of seconds, then you simply choose this option of after, then you say 2 seconds, then you say apply to all. Okay, that will apply to all the slides. So let's preview this. We can touch F5 on the keyboard or simply go to slideshow from beginning, and you'll be able to see how that is moving by itself. Okay, you see how it is moving by itself, and then it ends automatically. Now, if you want to make this presentation to loop from slide 1 to the second slide to the third slide, after it has run from the first slide to the last slide, you should be able to go back to the first slide. How do you go about it? You make sure you are in the slideshow tab, then you come to setup show, slideshow, then you choose under show options, you choose the option loop continuously until escape. Once you choose this, you make sure you click on OK and save the changes. You now want to test how it works. Simple. Click from beginning and you see how it is moving. Okay. It has gone back again to the first one, to the second, to the third, until you touch the escape button. That's when it will stop. So we've seen how to do transitions, how to apply transitions, how to apply animation, how to apply a theme, how to apply headers and footers, and looping slides. And the other thing could be how to apply hyperlinks. Let me introduce another slide right after the fourth slide, and I will put here, I will add a new slide and say partners. Here I will say TCA, say SMAGS, NHS, Google. Okay. Now, if you are required to insert a hyperlink to a specific text on a slide, say to TCA, what you need to do, you have to go to Insert, then you click on Hyperlink, or simply press Ctrl+K. I will click on Hyperlink. So here you'll see that there is existing file or web page or place in this document. I will come back to place in this document later. Let me use existing file or web page. So here I will type the website address of Teso College Okoed, which is www.tesocollege, as you see from here. Then I say OK. For SMAGS, I will add hyperlink, which is www.stmarysmadera.edublogs.org. Then I say OK. Google hyperlink www.google.com. I can also press enter. So what happens is that if I want to preview this specific slide, I need to click on this button here, which looks like a chalice down here. Now, on clicking that, you will see that here there is, excuse me, it just run because there is the other function of take it to the next slide after 3 seconds. So I need first of all to deactivate that on transitions. So I will deselect this, apply to all. Then I click on this chalice looking icon. So when you see this, it means that you can click on this link. So you see it is now busy loading. So you can have links in your slides and you can be able to navigate the web while you are still doing your presentation. Once you're done with this, you simply need to close and you'll be back to your presentation. Let's say SMAGS. What does that bring? So SMAGS brings for us this, and we are able to see the information. Okay? Once you are done with that, you close. What about Google? What does Google do? If you are interested in Googling out something while you are doing your presentation, you can have a link so that you can be able to quickly click on it and yes. So you can have Google where you can type what is say a computer. Okay, then you ask Google to tell you what a computer is. So now it is telling us it is an electronic device for storing and processing data, typically in binary form according to instructions given to it in a variable program. Okay, close. Now we can exit that. We've seen how that is done. We linked and we're able to test our links. But remember that you can also be asked to insert some sound track in this slide. You simply go to Insert, come to Audio, then you should know where your soundtrack is. So here it has opened. I'm now on the desktop and I'm opening material documents. Here there is a jingle. I will insert. I will click on it and say insert, or simply double click on jingle this. Now it is busy inserting it. Now Now it has been inserted. So once you insert a soundtrack, you will see something like this. Let me click on it and see what happens. So it is busy playing the soundtrack. We are done with that. You may also want to, I'm deleting this now. You may also want to put here a video. So you still go to insert, come to video, and inside that folder called material, there is something composing email using Gmail. So I will double click it to insert it. So I have inserted it. So the instances whereby when you insert it, it comes when it is so tiny like this, when it is so tiny like that. What you do, simply enlarge it to some size. Okay, can enlarge it like that, and you can test it before you can run it on presentation mode. So when I play it here, it is loading. So when you're in such a screen and you like to log into your account, make sure you select the right account. So in this case, I'm going to select Martin. So it is working. When I'm making my presentation, I am say in this mode. Okay? Then I click. When I click on it, it begins playing in that mode. So when you're in such a screen and you like to log into your account, make sure you select the right account. So in this case, I'm going to select Martin Okoed. So that is how you can be able to insert video, insert audio. Remember, I told you that I would come back to something later. You can be asked to put action buttons that link your slides. So you go to insert. You can pick a shape, say this kind of shape, and you put it here. Once you put it there, you can now have this active. Then you say action. What do you want it to do? Hyperlink it to next slide. Okay. Okay. So instead of you doing that repeatedly for all the other slides, you will simply need to copy this, right click on it, choose the option copy, then click on this part, right click, paste. Right click here also, paste. Right click on this one also, then you say paste. Now you move to the next slide. So what you do, pick a shape, for example this, put it here. When it is still having this highlighting here, come to action, and you can say hyperlink to previous slide, and you say okay, I will cancel. Alternatively, instead of using action, you can use hyperlink. So that takes you to the place in this document, but should take you to slide 1, and you say okay. Now when you use that method, it means you will have to keep picking each shape like this and going to hyperlink, and you say slide 2, because we are right now in slide 3, as you see from this. Say okay. You come and you do the same for other slides. I hope this helps you a lot. And you may also accidentally hide your slide by right clicking on it and you choose the option hide. A slide that has been hidden is having this kind of thing. So when you run your PowerPoint, you'll notice that that particular slide will not be displayed, and that will be sad for you. So simple, when you notice that, right click on it and say hide again, so that kind of thing disappears. Remember how to delete slides, how to insert slides, how to apply hyperlinks and action buttons, how to do the animation, looping slides, adding media, video or soundtrack. So I hope this has been great and you've learned something. I wish you good luck.